Today's webinar is Advance Your Career with the CMCA. My name is Laura Lozano and I am the Credentialing Associate here at CAMICB.
And my name is Karina May, and I am one of the webinar administrators here at CAMICB. Today we will be presenting some information about the CMCA. If you have any questions, please use the feature on the control panel to send your questions throughout the presentation, and then we'll get to them at the end. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Now, let's talk about the CMCA. What is it and who is CAMICB?
CAMICB stands for Community Association Managers International Certification Board and is the credentialing body that develops, administers, and maintains the CMCA certification. The CMCA stands for the Certified Manager of Community Association, and it's an internationally recognized certification specifically for community association managers.
And what is credentialing?
According to ICE, or the Institute for Credentialing Excellence, credentialing is defined as an overarching term that includes processes, policies, and practices that support credentials, such as a license, registration, certification, qualification, or assessment-based certificate to demonstrate that an organization or individual has met predetermined and standardized criteria. Now, the ICE is an authority that is specific to this industry as one of the leading developers of standards for both certification and certificate programs. They serve the credentialing industry by providing information on trends in certification, test development and delivery, and assessment-based certificate programs, and other information relevant to the credentialing community. So with this definition, credentialing is essentially the process by which an organization like CAMICB can publicly validate an individual's qualification, or in this situation, proficiency in community association management. So this can encompass a number of different programs, but they all follow a similar standardized procedure with specific requirements.
And what is certification?
So the CMCA is specifically a certification defined by ICE as a process by which an entity grants formal recognition to individuals that meet predetermined standardized criteria. The certification process involves determination of eligibility and assessment of demonstration of competence and requirements for regular recertification. So certification is usually voluntary and established by a non-governmental entity. So you want to know that the CMCA, it's a certification and not a certificate program. And the CMCA is different from a license or other required programs in that it is entirely up to the individual to obtain it, which makes it more distinguished, because it demonstrates that you have gone out of your way to devote time and energy to enhance yourself as a professional.
And why is certification important?
So another quote from ICE on why certifications are important: a high-quality certification validates an individual's knowledge, skills, and abilities in a defined profession, occupation, skill, or role. Certified individuals in the workforce reduce risk and enhance consumer protection and public safety. In addition, these certifications allow employers and other stakeholders to identify individuals with the competencies needed to perform a role or task. So essentially, a certification serves as a verification that a professional has achieved the industry baseline level of competency, and it allows a professional to assure the public that they have proof against a standardized, verifiable method that they have the skills and capability to perform their required duties.
And now, could you tell us what are the benefits of certification?
Sure. Certification benefits multiple parties. Namely, it will benefit you as the manager, your employers, as well as the industry stakeholder. So in terms of employers, when a manager becomes CMCA certified, the CMCA ensures that the manager is a qualified employee, reduces risk of errors, accidents, and liability. Recertification assures continued employee commitment, competence, and it also lowers the risk of employee turnover. From the stakeholder perspective, the CMCA offers objective third-party confirmation of professional competence, assurance of commitment to public safety, consumer protection, accountability through a code of ethics, as well as, again, recertification for continued competence. And in this particular situation, the industry stakeholder will be the homeowner and homeowner volunteer or board leaders. And the consumer protection in this profession refers to your stakeholders' highest investment in their homes. So lastly, the CMCA will of course benefit you because it will provide you career advancement and recognition.
And how does it impact the manager's career?
So building off from the last slide, certification will impact you and your career because it will provide increased recognition from your peers, employers, and clients. It will provide greater opportunities for job eligibility and promotions. It will provide increased workplace trust from employers and the public eye, as well as provide higher career compensation and permanence. So there are a lot of positive benefits that come out of obtaining certification in this profession.
And why is the CMCA the internationally recognized certification in this industry?
The CMCA is the internationally recognized certification for several reasons. First off, the CMCA program is duly accredited by both the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, the NCCA, as well as by the NC National Accreditation Board under standard ISO IEC 17024. So the National Commission for Certifying Agencies accreditation is incredibly valuable, not only because it offers third-party validation for this program, but also because it proves that this program was able to comply with a rigorous set of development, delivery, and administrative standards. CAMICB has also obtained international accreditation with the NC National Accreditation Board under standard ISO IEC 17024. So this makes the CMCA certification program one of only a handful of certification programs worldwide to achieve both certifications. Um, the dual accreditation truly proves that the CMCA is a high quality certification. Okay, so now, Karina, can you tell us another couple of reasons why the CMCA is the internationally recognized certification in this industry?
Sure. The CMCA exam is psychometrically sound and is proven to be both valid and reliable. So to delve into this for just a minute, psychometrics is the field of study concerned with the theory and technique of psychological measurement, which includes the measurement of knowledge, abilities, and attitudes. So CAMICB uses a psychometric approach in developing the exam. We use a committee of subject matter experts to develop questions, which are then tested by psychometric scientists using operational and independent replication, using classical and item response theory. And that's a lot of jargon, but in short, these questions are created by industry subject matter experts and then tested scientifically to ensure that the questions are both fair and reliable. And then lastly, the CMCA is the only certification in this field that can allow a manager from any country to test against a verified common body of knowledge through extensive job analysis studies.
Okay, and how does the CMCA specifically impact a manager's career?
So as we mentioned earlier, the CMCA is widely accepted as the benchmark of the community association industry. As a result, employers and homeowners are really seeking out the CMCA to verify that their manager is qualified. A lot of job applications and postings are looking specifically for managers who have the CMCA certification. Another reason is that CMCAs, on average, earn 20% more than non-certified managers. And this was found through a salary survey study that was conducted by the Foundation for Community Association Research. And this was in their most recent salary survey. And then lastly, earning the CMCA will set you on the path of enhanced education and qualifications if you're interested in them pursuing CAI's AMS or PCAM programs.
Now, how can someone obtain the CMCA?
So the CMCA requires managers to meet a qualifying prerequisite and then pass a standardized exam to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in community association management. The exam is developed by a job analysis task force of subject matter experts and is administered by a strict third-party testing organization called Pearson VUE to assure the safety and integrity of the exam.
And with that said, what are the steps to get into CMCA?
There are 3 steps that you need to complete in order to take the CMCA exam and obtain the CMCA certification. The first step is to meet a prerequisite. Currently, there are 3 prerequisite options. The first option is a prerequisite course. There are a couple different options for this course, and the most popular is CAI's M100 course called The Essentials of Community Association Management. The second prerequisite option is if you have 2 years of experience, specifically as a community association manager. You can use your experience as a one-time waiver of this prerequisite option. This experience has to be as a fully employed community association manager. We do not accept experience as an assistant manager. Now, if you do use your 2 years experience to meet the prerequisite and you do not pass the exam, you can only use this prerequisite option once. So if you were to retake the CMCA exam, you would have to choose a different prerequisite to retake the CMCA. And then lastly, the third prerequisite option is if you have a qualifying board-approved state license or certification. Then you can use that to meet your prerequisite. And currently, we accept the certification from Arizona and California, and the license from Florida, Illinois, and Nevada. So once you've met a prerequisite option, your next step is to submit the CMCA examination application. You can do that online on our website at camicb.org, and the cost of the application is going to be $360. This is a payment that is all-encompassing, so it will cover the cost of the application processing and the exam itself. And then lastly, once you've submitted that application, you'll receive within about 3 to 5 business days an authorization to test email, which will give you instructions on how to schedule and take your exam at a Pearson VUE testing center. You'll have 1 year to schedule your exam, and you can schedule your exam at any Pearson VUE testing center throughout the United States or worldwide.
All right, and once the CMCA is obtained, what is the value in maintaining it?
So CAMICB requires managers who have obtained the CMCA to maintain it by completing 16 hours of continuing education every 2 years and then submitting an annual service fee each year. The board has a number of reasons for why we require managers to do this, but there's a lot of value in maintaining the CMCA specifically for the manager. First off, it distinguishes yourself to your peers, employers, and clients as dedicated to the development of your skills and knowledge. So it demonstrates that you're not staying complacent in your knowledge, but you're actively learning and ensuring that you stay up to date on the most recent topics and information. It reaffirms your commitment to the standards of professional conduct, which promotes trust and reliability from your employers and clients. And then it also enhances your marketability because it allows you to be able to provide the most up-to-date guidance for your associations.
All right, and then lastly, if you can go over some of these resources, that would be great.
Yes, absolutely. So now that we've gone over the program as a whole, the benefits, the definition, and the process on how to get it, if you have further questions about the CMCA, we do have a number of resources. First off, if you have further questions about how to prepare for the CMCA exam, we have an exam preparation webpage dedicated to all of our study tools. We also have a short webinar called How to Plan and Prepare for the CMCA. Now, if you just recently got your CMCA or you're interested in how to promote your CMCA once you've obtained it, we also have a Promote Your CMCA webpage dedicated to that topic as well. And we also have a short webinar called What is a Digital Badge and How Do You Use It? And once a manager has obtained the CMCA, they have a number of resources that are available to them, and one of them being the digital badge that we offer to all new CMCAs. And this program reviews exactly what a digital badge is and how you can use that for your own professional growth. And then lastly, we did touch a little bit on maintaining the CMCA. So if you have questions about the recertification process, we do also have a web page dedicated to that. And again, we also have another short webinar that goes over the recertification process, and that's called Recertification, Keeping Your CMCA Up and Your Stress Level Down. And all these links are available on the PDF that is located in the toolbar in the webinar program today. But if you want a copy of the presentation later on, or if you need us to direct you specifically to any of these links, just feel free to reach out to us directly via email at info@camicb.org.
All right, now let's move on to some questions. Karina, if you see any that are available.
Sure, let me go ahead and look here. Let's see. How do we register for the M100 from Danielle?
Okay, so since the M100 is offered by CAI, which is the Community Associations Institute, you can simply go to the website caionline.org, type M100, and then you'll be able to register for the M100.
Thank you. I see a question from James. How do we prepare for the exam? Are there suggested study tools such as workbooks?
Yes, so we do have a section on the CAMICB website called Exam Preparation. You can simply click there and then it will take you to all the information, how to prepare, and all the different resources that we offer.
And then Angela has asked us, how much does it cost to renew every 2 years?
So the recertification process consists of annual service fee. So every year the service fee it's currently 135, and then every 2 years you need to recertify with the 16 hours of continuing education.
Great, thank you. And I see a question popped up from Jason. Does the M100 have an expiration time frame after I take it?
So after you have completed the M100, so the M100 it's a course, and then there is a test that you need to complete in order to receive the certificate of completion from the course. So after you have completed the M100, there is no time frame. You can apply for the CMCA exam, even if you took it between a year or so. So there is no like a time frame between completion of the M100 and the CMCA, but you do need to complete the final test of the M100 in order to receive that certificate of completion.
Great, thank you. So once you successfully complete that and complete your prerequisite and you decide to apply to take the CMCA exam, from that point where you apply to take the exam, you have 1 year to take the test. All right, let's see. I see a question from Tyler. Is this the online CMCA e-learning course? I saw it on the website. Is this a good thing to do to prep for the exam?
Okay, so this webinar is not the CMCA e-learning course, but yes, the e-learning course is one of the many resources that we offer, and it's definitely a good thing to do if you're preparing for the exam.
Thank you. And Joyce has asked, what do I need to provide if I have 2 years of manager's experience?
So the application is going to ask you about what type of information you need. If you are choosing the experience prerequisite, I believe you need to include the dates that you have worked for as a community association manager, the company name, company contact, and the chance that we need to contact the company to confirm your experience as a community association manager.
Great, thank you. And then I see a question from Carly. With the M100, will this course cover all the information that would be on the CMCA? Or is
No,
there,
so the M100, yeah, the M100 is just one of the many resources that we offer. The M100, it's one of the prerequisite option. It is a great resource to study and prepare for the CMCA, but it's definitely not the only one that you need to study.
Okay, and then that was her next question. Is there another class we need to study off of?
So there is not like a class. We do offer some other type of like interactive study methods, like flashcard, Quizlet. We do also offer a practice exam, and everything is available online on the CAMICB website. You can simply go to the exam preparation tab, and you'll be able to access all of this information.
Thank you. And Keith has a question. How do I access the e-learning course?
Same way, you can simply go to the CAMICB website, exam preparation tab, and then you'll be able to register for the e-learning course. And also the e-learning course is free.
Thank you. All right, I see a question from Peter popped up. If I wanted to start my management company, do I still need to take the CMCA exam?
Well, the CMCA, in order to obtain the CMCA certification, you need to pass the CMCA exam. But the CMCA certification is a voluntary certification, so it is not like a requirement, and it's a personal choice if you want to obtain it. So, and if you are interested in obtaining the CMCA, then yes, you need to take the exam.
All right, and then James has a question. Is it common or recommended to obtain this credential prior to first looking for work in this field? Or is this something more aimed for people already working in the field?
I will say the same answer to James. This is a voluntary certification. So if you just want to go ahead and apply for the CMCA prior to looking for or applying for any position, then I think that will be an advantage for you, because we have received several, requests for managers applying for a job when the companies are asking them to be in CMCA certified. So it depends on your intentions and depending on what the company that you're applying for requires.
All right, thank you. And then Keith has written a question here. Why do so many people fail the CMCA, or rather, why is the fail rate so high?
So I won't say the fail rate is high for the CMCA. And then why do so many people fail the CMCA? Every person has a different way to take the exam. We have seen so many people who pass the exam in the first attempt, and then there's other people who have taken the CMCA several times. So this is a more personal experience for everyone, and it also depends on the knowledge that you have in the field.
Thank you. And then Ted has a question about the course. How long is the course and how is it presented and attended?
Ted, if you can clarify what type of course you're asking, is it the M100 course or the e-learning course?
I'll see if his pops up. In the meantime, Jason has a question. Are the
Mhm.
study guides updated for the new 2025 questions?
Yes, the new study guide is available on our website, and it includes the updated information for the new blueprint of the exam.
All right, thanks. And then Ted mentioned that he asked how long is the M100 course and how is it
Um,
presented and attended?
okay, so I won't be going into much detail about the M100 since the M100 it's a product by CI. So if you want to know more about the M100, please go into CAI's website. You can simply go to caionline.org, type the M100, and then you'll be able to find out more information about the M100.
All right, and then James, we see your question here. Can you go over the prerequisite portion again? You said something about needing to use a different prerequisite if you fail the exam, but I missed that part.
Yeah, so this is for managers going through the experience option or prerequisite. So if you're using the experience prerequisite to take the exam for the first time and then say you failed the CMCA, so if you want to reapply for the CMCA exam, you need to change the prerequisite. So the experience prerequisite is valid only once. So you either need to complete one of the prerequisite courses or use one of the license options that we offer.
Great, thank you. And Inga has a question. For the $360 fee, how many
Mhm.
times can you take the test, and what if you fail?
Once you have been authorized for the exam, you can take one attempt of the exam for that whole year. So if you fail the exam, you need to complete the retake application, and then you're going to be authorized for another year and for one attempt of the exam. So every time you reapply, you are authorized for one attempt only of the exam during the whole year.
Thank you. And then Charisse has a question. I passed the exam the first attempt. However, I allowed my certification to expire. What steps? Oh, it's been about 5 years. How do I bring it back to up to date?
So for that, I will need to check at your account first. I need to take a look at the dates. So if you can please follow up with us with an email to info@camicb.org. The email address is at the bottom of the presentation. And then I'll get back to you with more information on how to regain your certification.
All right. And then Blanca has asked, for the CMCA course, is there a study group or study group sessions offered?
So CAMICB does not offer any study group sessions to prepare for the exam. However, your local CAI chapter organize those study groups. So if you are part of any of the CAI chapter, reach out to them directly for the upcoming study group session.
Thank you. And I see we're at 3:29 here. I have one more question before we close out, and that is from Sabrina. Taking the CMCA exam, is this like taking the test from the M204, or do you go somewhere to take the exam?
Yeah, so the CMCA exam is an in-person exam. So once you have been authorized for the exam, you contact Pearson VUE, which is the testing center where the exam is administered, and then you have to schedule your exam appointment. And it's an in-person exam. It's not like the M204 test that you completed online.
All right, thank you. Well, with that, it is now 3:30, and we would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Laura, do you have any final comments before we close out?
Sure. If we did not get into your question today, please follow up with us with an email, info@camicb.org, and someone from our customer service department will get back to you.
Great. Well, thank you for that, and thank you everyone on the line for joining us today. We hope you have a great afternoon.